Hey, Cars Guys, JT here. Welcome back to the channel where all that matters is our Cars Guys. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode, ABZs, where my neighbor Mark and I, we were tooling around the countryside in Mexico in our C's. Well, we had a great time and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a couple of announcements before we get into the video. Revealing the winner of the Watch Out for Cars Guys event. Remember, that's the event where one lucky subscriber once a month is going to win a watch from my own personal collection. So we're getting pretty close, about a week and a half away from revealing who the actual winner is for that event. And just an update on merch. A lot of you guys have been inquiring about Cars Guys merch. Well, say no more. I've got t-shirts and caps coming, and as we speak, my crack team of researchers in the Cars Guys lab are still working on getting my logo all finished and ready to go, so we can have some of that logo stuff on the caps and t-shirts. A lot of you guys know I own a 2006 Range Rover HSE, and that's what we're going to talk about in this week's episode. And I got a special guest who also has a Strange Rover, so come along for a journey into the Strange Rover. Cars Guys, okay, we're here, and as the thumbnail said, Strange Rover. This vehicle is a great vehicle, but it's probably the strangest SUV out on the market. And just as I'm speaking, here's my sister pulling up in her Range Rover. Beautiful black Range Rover. Sport, supercharged. So she's going to get in position and we're going to talk about these things. But you guys are going to love this episode, and we'll be right back with more Strange Rover. There they are, guys, sitting nice and pretty in their British glory, the two Strange Rovers. And you have to wonder, you see a ton of these things everywhere you go, but they're the strangest SUVs on the market, and we're going to talk about it in a second. Okay, Cars Guys, and there you have it, the two Strange Rovers. Let me start by introducing to the vlog my sister, Romaine. Step in. Hi. Here, Ro.
How are you?
All right.
My name is Romaine, and I've had 3 Range Rovers. My first one was an LR3. Then I had a regular Range Rover Sport, and now I have the Beast, and I love it.
And she's going to tell us a little bit about her Strange Rover. Let's walk around and look at it. Okay, Ro, tell us about it.
Okay, so I have, it's black, but it looks black, but it has a real beautiful paint job, which it looks sparkle purple in the sunlight. I got the low profile wheels. I've got the wonderful video DVD players in the back of the headrest. It's got the Range Rover mats in it, all the whole mat package all the way around. It's luggage tan on the interior. It has wonderful sound system in it.
And what year is it again, Ro?
It's an 09.
09.
And it really moves. And let's just say I've had my share of stops on the Strange Range Rover on the highway.
Oh, it's crazy. It looks really good, in good shape, bro.
It's good. It's been very good to me. I've had a lot of things done to it, as you know. I still wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
And that's the thing. I mean, we see these things all over the road, and you wonder why. I mean, just look at the appointments. I mean, you don't get much better than that. Range Rover really knows how to do interiors. Back, beautiful profile, and hers, unlike a lot of other ones, you guessed it, guys, it's supercharged. This thing is probably over 5,000 pounds and it's supercharged. What's the horsepower, Ro? Or is it like 500 horse almost?
Yeah.
500 horsepower in a 5,000 pound vehicle. Outrageous.
And it has the chrome taillights.
Chrome taillights. Awesome. So while they're strange, there's really nothing like them. And here's my girl, an 06 HSE. As you can see, same kind of appointments. Tan leather, piped in blue stitching, blue trim, wood everywhere. I mean, they've thought of everything as far as the interior goes. Yes, it's the Strange Rover, but she can't beat them. Hey, Ro, pop the hood for us. Let's look at this motor you got.
You may not be able to see everything because it's covered. They already have the cover.
Yeah, that's that supercharger in there all covered up. There it is, supercharger. Man, you can't get a screwdriver in there. Holy smoke! That's why they encourage you to go to Range Rover. But with anything, you got to have a guy, and we have a guy. And in a later vlog, you'll meet our Strange Rover guy.
He's wonderful.
Yes, he does. Yes, he is. He keeps us on the road. So there you have it, guys. The Strange Rovers, and we're going to jump in Romaine's beast, and we're going to go for a little spin. Nothing like these things. From their air ride suspension. I mean, this thing could climb up the side of the wall if you need to. So I'll see you guys inside Romaine's Strange Rover.
I had to get my driver's license today.
All right, gang. We're going for a ride in this Strange Rover. So, Romaine, tell us some of the things you really like about this thing.
Then nothing beats the ride. When I first purchased this Rover, I really couldn't ride it. As you gradually drive the car and you get to a certain mileage, you can feel the car just settle into its own. And so before, when I used to try to jump on it, it would just be like, okay. But now that I have it broken in, it just roars when you go to take off.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I mean, like, speed limit's only 40 miles per hour here, but
we're in Mexico, so it doesn't matter.
But what makes it fun is that it's just a great ride, and you know, you just, if you have a Range Rover, most people that have a Range Rover, they're very courteous on the road, and they get it. And no matter how many Range Rovers you see, people always turn and look at your Range Rover.
That's right.
So I love that, because they look at my Range Rover, and when I tell them it's an 09, they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. So I love this body style. The new body style, I'm not too happy with, but this body style, it looks beefy. It says I'm a Range Rover, and I command the road.
There you go. And you know what's so crazy? I used to wonder why you used to see so many of these things on the road, because I heard horrible things about them. Their service record, their reliability, the fuel consumption, just the whole 9 yards. But until I got one, I actually traded in a Cayenne, a Porsche Cayenne S that I had for 24 hours. Now, that'll be on another vlog. But I traded in the very next day. And when I got in the Range Rover, I mean, look at this. I mean, this thing moves. I don't know if you guys can hear just the roar of that supercharger.
So we're at 60 right now.
That was just 60 mile an hour in no time flat in a monster heavy vehicle like this. It's just incredible the things that the Range Rover has been able to do with these vehicles. And it's like we're in our living room.
Yeah.
The seats are plush. We're not getting thrown all around. You don't hear any exterior noise. You don't hear any road noise. All you hear is the roar of that supercharger, and we've got the AC on, and we're flossing in the Strange Rover. So when you see Range Rovers out and about, after this vlog, you'll start to see why you see so many of them. Sure, they're a pain in the butt. If you don't have a guy and you have to take them to the dealership, get ready to, you got to get a home equity loan to get a doggone tune-up on these things. So, but they're great. They're great vehicles, and we just want to enjoy the ride. Outrageous. You take it off its airbags when you go in at night.
Yes. When I went into the dealer, he asked me how what I do when I park the vehicle at night. I say I'm gonna park it, and then I hit the suspension, the air suspension, to lower it. And the reason he said that I should do that is that it releases all the excess weight, because this car is so heavy.
That's right.
I had this Range Rover towed to the dealer, and as the guy was lifting it up on the flatbed, the whole front of his flatbed lifted up. And I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, is it going to... He was like, no.
Outrageous.
So that can tell you how heavy this vehicle is.
Yeah.
And trust me, if you go down a road and if it's any little bit of ice on it, you have to kind of gradually do it, because if you start sliding, there's no stopping. So it's a tank.
Yeah. So that's why, the school of thought on that is, if you take all the weight of the vehicle off of the air bellows, you essentially extend the life of the airbags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it makes sense.
And you know, you hear mixed feelings. Some people say that it's okay, but then if you take it off and you constantly do this, you're getting a lot of wear and tear on your up and down motion. But I recommend, if you're going to leave the vehicle sitting for a very long period of time, then I would definitely lower it.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. The thing about it that kind of drives me nuts with the whole air suspension is, I mean, a lot of people, when they take these things into the dealership kind of steers you into replacing the whole system. Sometimes it's just one of the airbags, it could be two of the airbags, or it could be the air compressor that actually fuels or supplies the bellows with air. There's an air compressor right below your spare tire in the back. So sometimes it's the air compressor. That's what happened with me.
Mine went too. Mine went.
Really?
Yes, I was one of the lucky ones.
Was it your compressor or was it the bellows?
It was the compressor.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So it got stuck in the up mode, which was nice, because if it gets stuck in the lower mode, then naturally you can't drive the car.
Oh, right.
So it was stuck in the up mode, and trust me, I was not thrilled when I left the dealership, because it was a nice piece of change.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, sure, you're comfortable in knowing that if it's at Range Rover, they know their product, so and they warranty their work. And a lot of people, there were some people that had these things that were actually taking the air suspension out of the vehicle and replacing them with standard shocks and springs. But I know, Range Rover people, it's frowned upon because it totally distorts the ride. It takes the whole allure of being in a completely air suspension vehicle. It just takes the whole ride away from it when you put shocks and springs on it.
Right, and so you figure that most of the time, like when I sit at a light, sometimes the car will automatically adjust itself based on how you're riding. If you're sitting still and it feels as though that it might be one level maybe raised higher than the other, it automatically adjusts itself. And you just see people's look on their face when they see me lower, and they're just like, wow, my car went down.
Yeah, there's something wrong with their car. It's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, and it's like at startup, after you've had these things idle for a while, if you got several cars, which a lot of us cars guys do, that's what we do. But if you're not in this thing daily, what happens is if you don't lower it yourself, the air kind of dissipates out of the system, and you'll go over to your vehicle, and it's almost level. You know, it's really close to being low, like as if you were lower it yourself. So if you drive it daily, when you get in and start it, it kind of levels off. You gonna turn around here? Okay, cars guys, first ever Range Rover Sport Supercharged pull from a dead standstill. Hit it. Outrageous. Sorry about the audio. Outrageous.
We're at 70.
Just that quick 70 mile an hour in the Range Rover. Awesome. So there you have it, guys. You know, it doesn't get much better in the SUV world.
So let's just hear our voice pull over, and we'll let you hear it. He's sitting still.
All right, we're sitting still here. Let's turn the AC on. that tells you all you need to know. This thing is a beast. Just had a dually go flying past us. We could totally walk them down if we wanted to. What a great Strange Rover. See, now all you guys out there, all you guys thought that this was going to be a total Range Rover roast, and it wasn't. You know, I called it Strange Rover because it is a strange vehicle. Range Rover does things unlike any other manufacturer with their SUVs, and they do it for a reason. It's to separate them, it's to set them apart from the norm, from the normal, the standardized SUVs that you see out here. That's why you see these things, and people do whatever they need to do to keep them running and looking great. I know I'm going to keep my 06 on the road as long as I can, and thanks to my sister and this beautiful Range Strange Rover, she's made a believer out of me. So, and we're back in my own personal Strange Rover. Like I said, special thanks goes out to my sister Romaine for letting us get a little glimpse at the allure and what's so cool about being a Strange Rover owner. This is a wonderful feeling, and this is an 06 HSE.
Hey Cars Guys, JT back at the Cars Guys lab. Hey, thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys have a whole new respect and a whole new kind of understanding about the Strange Rover. Great vehicle, but still the strangest SUV on the road. One other side note, forgot to tell you guys, I'm not a big music in my car guy. I love a great stereo in my vehicle. I have a couple of good stereos in a couple of my vehicles, but typically I listen to the sound of the engine, and I try to listen to what's going on with the car. So I'm not a big music guy while I'm driving. But speaking of music, I just so happened to be in my Strange Rover one day, and I wanted to listen to a little bit of music. So I pressed power. It looked like the CD player was playing, but I was getting no sound. I could see the CD progressing through the track, but I still was getting no sound. Now, just in case you guys didn't know, there's a great system in these cars. It's called Harman Kardon. There's a Harman Kardon Logic 7 stereo system in these things, and they're awesome. However, what happens is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but on the roof here runs along the roof line, there's a drain. And if that drain, for whatever reason, gets clogged, what happens is, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here, the Harman Kardon system is basically a very elaborate stereo system, and it's fiber optics. There's a fiber optics platform in this whole system, and where they've located it is absurd. Where do you see this? Trunk here, but the majority of the system is located just above the wheel well on the driver's side. So this whole collection of wires and fiber optics and gizmos is all the brains basically of the stereo system. So what happens is, when this drain up here that runs along the roof that we just talked about, when that gets clogged, water doesn't drain properly, and you'll get leakage down into this compartment, and it fouls everything up. So what happened with me is, the logical problem it could have been was an amplification problem. And sure enough, I did some research, and it was this Harman Kardon. I don't know if you guys can see it here. Let me get some better focus in here. There we go. Harman Kardon Logic 7 amplifier. Now this black box here, this amplifier for the system, without this you get no sound. You don't get any sound at all, and that was my problem. So I called the brain trust over at Range Rover, the actual dealer, and I said, hey, listen, I have an 06 HSE and my amplifier has gone out on me. Do you guys have it? I gave the guy my VIN number, and what he did was he looked it up. $1,596 for this amplifier. So needless to say, I said, hey, thanks, have a nice day. So I did my research, and the internet is awesome. Did my research, found one somewhere in Europe somewhere that came out of a wrecked Range Rover, and paid for it. It was 287 bucks. Came to my house all bubble wrapped, and had my Range Rover guy throw it in for me, and voila, sound. So yet another strange item in the Range Rover. So I just wanted to let you guys know that one other side note about the stereo system in the Range Rover, so you could be mindful of that, all you Range Rover owners out there. So again, hey, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for going on this Range Rover journey with my sister and I. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you're checking in for the first time, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit that little bell. That little bell gives you notifications whenever I have a new upload. So remember, Cars Guys, this is the channel where all that matters is our Cars Guys. See you in the next upload.